There we go. Got the right microphone selected now. All right. Hi. Let's fix the volume, shall we? Mic volume is off a bit. Try to fix that. Sound settings. Scroll down. Select the right microphone. There we go. Crank that up. There we go. What's up, 3D Medic Vince? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, that clipped. I turned that down, so there we go. That should be better now. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. I got the Ender 3 back on the bench. I cleaned a little bit, so things are a little more organized. I'm going to work on some wiring here today on this thing, and who knows what else. As a matter of fact, speaking of what else, let me give me a second checking out puppies. What's up, people? Okay. Puppies are good. Let's move the chair for a minute. I said puppies, and he comes running. I printed a enclosure. Yeah, Jose, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I printed an enclosure, a rear mount enclosure for this thing. We'll see how well it turned out. First layer leaves room for some improvement. I haven't used the printer in a while, so got to get it cleaned up here, you know. See if I can find the hardware I need to install this. Get my sleeves out of the way. We'll see if I can find the hardware I need to install this. That first layer is hot garbage. Oof. Good thing it's underneath the printer and you can't see it, right? I don't know that I like that first layer. Its adhesion was terrible, but again, it's under the printer. You don't see it, and the rest of it doesn't look super terrible. Let's see. But yeah, let me come over here. Let me turn this way. Design some custom spool holders to clip on the desk and film that hangs under the table for the MMU3 5-color. Nice. Nice. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. I'll tell you, depending on how things play out, I may acquire. I gotta talk to the superintendent. We're getting a new printer for the junior high STEM class. One of their Mark IIIs is just having a hard time, and I figured rather than invest in another, in more upgrade parts to try and fix it, I would invest in a Mark IV for them. So, since I'm investing in a Mark IV, I mean the school is investing in a Mark IV, I'm going to talk to the superintendent and see if I can acquire the old Mark III off of the school. So I may have a Mark III's Plus coming. It's going to need some work, and I'll work on that one for myself because it'd be nice to have that one in the fleet. My printer collection's gotten kind of low, so it would be nice to have a Prusa in the collection again. They are nice, but that's kind of the plan, you know. I'll see if I can get it, and if I can, great. Keep it, use it, and who knows? I got that 3D Chameleon. Maybe we'll get that installed on there and try that out. Let me see. I know I have a deburring tool around here somewheres. Or I had a deburring tool around here somewheres. There it is. Found it. clean up this edge a little better. There. That'll make it a little nicer. It won't be so rough around the base here. Wow. That first layer is total hot garbage. Woo! We're going to have to pull the switch wire down and do some tweaking on it because it is not happy. Yeah, look at this. little bit of an adhesion issue with that first layer. You know? I mean, but again, like I said, it's the underside. It's still very rigid. I'm not super worried. It'll be hiding underneath it. There, Mr. You Do It. Used Tinkercad last night to make a handle tie, to tie 2 switches together. Nice. Gonna get set up with the pallet 3 when you get back. Yeah, that's right. You're on the road right now, aren't you, JPP? Safe travels. You know, of course, safe travels. Yeah, this is the electronics enclosure. So it's the one that mounts in the rear. There's 2 screws here that go into the 2020. Or 24, was it 2040, 4040? And then 2 more to go on the 4040 on the other side. All the wires will go in here, and then you'll have your heat bed, or your hot end heat bed. It says P and MP. Can't remember. But yeah, so power, and then yeah. So then you'll have USB Ethernet, USB-C, HDMI, and then the SPIO port right here. And then on this side here, you've got the knockout for the screen cables to come through. And then in the back for some of the wires to come through the rear. So yeah, it'll be nice to have all the electronics tucked up with the printer. So I'm hoping get all this support material out of here. I should have told it just on the build plate, but I told it just to run, and it did put some supports on the inside as well. There is for the SD card slots, so carve these out. Get all this out of here. I wasn't planning on streaming today, guys. I really wasn't. I was just sitting out here, and I'm like, oh, I'll start working on the Ender 3. Get the wiring and stuff tidied up. And then I was like, you know what? We'll stream it. People come and hang out. Great. I know in talking with the guys on Jerry's stream yesterday, I know Sam was pretty passionate about what I was doing. 3D printing, 3D T and printing, or 3D and T printing, sorry. They were pretty happy with what I was doing as well. And like I said, this isn't something I plan to ever get rich doing. But if I can make a living doing this, I would rather. You know what I mean? And I was thinking that I do enjoy working on 3D printers. I enjoy having them around. So if worst case scenario, maybe I just start advertising 3D printing service in the area, like fixing printers. And then when I don't have printers to work on, or even if I do, I can still find time to repair printers for people and get them back to them, you know. The only problem with offering a service like that is if you get someone who truly doesn't understand 3D printing and doesn't want to take the time to do it, and you're constantly working on it, they're going to constantly say it's your fault. You know, that happens. But electronics enclosure, probably be easier to get the electronics all taken back apart. I just kind of want to see how it's going to, the case is going to look. I'm going to tidy up these wires today. That's the main goal, is get this mess cleaned up. But I just kind of want to see how this thing is going to fit under here. Or make sure it's going to fit under here. Huh. It's hanging up on this enclosure. Interesting. So this doesn't seem to either be sitting high enough, or it looks like it's the there. Yeah. Might be the wobbliness of my desk, because my desk is not super flat, but the motor isn't touching there, and that's in the hole where it's supposed to be. So I wonder, I just wonder if it's my desk. Well, if this doesn't work out, yeah, no, see, it's there's definitely something there, because it's running into here. So 3D Printer Shack, what's going on, man? Need to figure out how to do chamber and Google found Maker Jake. Went to Earth several times. Had a great video on how to do it. Nice. Yeah. Well, this may not be usable after all. It's not warped, so it didn't warp. There's that. But for whatever reason, part of it is catching where the Y extrusion is right here and causing it to not sit low enough. So we'll have to entertain possibly something else. So I won't worry about the electronics right now. Oh, hold on a second. Dogs are barking. I think neighbors might be at home. Shut up. So my daughter is leaving, and the neighbor's out walking his dog, and his dog is arguing with the other dogs. Getting the print farm going and more things. Nice. Well, let's jump over here to the bench cam. There we go. And kind of move this back and down a little bit so we can kind of see what I'm doing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the end stop, or yeah, the X end stop wire out. We got to tear apart this tape here on the end of the cable. So get this tape to let go. I'm not like super awake today, guys. I'm not gonna lie, so I apologize if I'm not like super crazy animated. But you know, I've been doing a lot lately and keeping myself busy, working on printers and stuff. Let's get this to unwrap. That'll be easier. There we go. There. And get the tape at this end too. Maybe. See if we could chop through it here. Same thing, you know. Just cut the tape and work through it. Ow. The backpack printer, I don't know if you guys saw, I was playing around with it on Jerry's stream yesterday. But I got the backpack printer plugged in and turned on over here too, and I was printing some stuff on it. Let's see if we can get this to come loose from the ribbon here. Got to be careful not to cut the wire, guys. That's the important part. Don't clip the wire. Now, we can do this one of two ways. I'm going to do this way. I'm going to pull this all the way up to this end. And let's see here. That's our or our X cable. And there we go. Pull the X end stop cable out. No more X end stop cable. That will clean up the wire going up to here. And then we need to pull out this motor cable and then pull that back up through this one here that goes up to the hot end. So the zip tie that I put in here is sacrificial. It's got to go. So there it is, because the motor cable is now going to go up. So we can take this and pull it loose all the way down to the other end. But you loosen it so far, and then you can pull this back up this way, and then we can separate it the little bit down. Now, we just got to pull the extruder wire out off the board, and then pull that back up through the sleeve. Get it into the sleeve first, and then we can pull it up through the sleeve, and now it's free, and we can get it to come down the other side. Now the only thing that's in this sleeve is just the one motor, and we'll leave it wrapped up so it looks nice and, you know, nice and pretty. Let's pull it down and get some of the slack. There we go. All right. Pull you guys back a little bit more. There we go. Give you guys more viewing area. Look, see, I did a Fennec Fox here, and this is on the SliceWorks plate. They sent it to Mitch when he got the printer. Viking, what's going on, brother? But there's the little guy. Let me do something here, because I am noticing that. Is that better? Make it a little brighter. And let's rezoom the focus. There we go. Is that better now? A little brighter? But there, see? Little Fennec Fox. It's on the SliceWorks plate. Don't forget, guys, I have a link to SliceWorks, too. I'm an affiliate now, so if you were going to buy something from SliceWorks, consider helping the channel. There you go. I did my shill. On top of that, Viking. I printed something, bud. Let me go to this one. I printed something there, bud. There you go. Ta-da! There. Look at. Look how cute he is. I printed Viking's little candy bucket. And by little, I mean, this thing's pretty girthy. I did do supports on the mouth. I probably didn't need to. And then when it did that, it put a bunch of supports around the base too. So get this off of here. Not much here, but that moment. Yeah. Did the same print overnight. Max scale on the P1S. Nice. Yeah, gotta support the Viking, man. He's the man. But I was thinking I'm gonna take this in. I didn't tell the missus I printed this, so I'm gonna take it in and show it to her. And then I might take it to work with me and put it on my desk at work for the kids. Put some candy in it, you know. That way kiddos can come to my office to get tech work and steal some candy while they're at it. And anybody who knows me knows I'll probably eat most of the candy. Let's see here. Let's get this guy cleaned up a little bit. Wonderful part about ADHD, just follow the dopamine to the next thing. Get this off of here. There we go. Clean it up a little bit. But there we go. Viking's little candy bucket. The little Pepkin. Happy little bucket. Put him right there. Okay, let me clean up my mess, guys. I cleaned my office yesterday, so I don't want to be leaving a mess everywhere. There we go. Build plates for days. But yeah, so if anybody is considering or wanting to get a new build plate, consider getting the dip plate from Sliceworks. Use my link. Be greatly appreciated. Helps the channel. I had 3 orders. I made $6 so far off my link from Sliceworks. So anybody's looking to buy stuff from Sliceworks, help me out. You know? But there we go. Back to this. Let's go ahead now and take this motor cable. And let's see, which way is going to be easiest, you think? Fish this down and meet up with it? Because there's a lot of excess cable on this motor now. I don't necessarily want to try and slide the whole thing through. But we'll do it, because let's live dangerously, right? Pull this down, get that started. Whoops. Pull it down as far as we can. Can we get past all that? Yes, we can. There we go. All right. Tuck this down in there. If you have a fish wire, that always tends to help. Let's make sure we're not going to tangle this cable in the process. I'm realizing that whilst I'm doing this, I might potentially be causing a tangle with all the other wires. There we go. Get this below our other joint. Tuck that down in. Try to fish it into there as far as I can get it. Then we're going to pinch it, run this back up, and then see if while we have it pinched, if we can get more to go past. Grab it. There it is. Grab it, pull more up, pinch in front of it, push more behind, grab it, pull it up, pinch behind, push it up, grab it. This part is however it works for you, put it that way. We're getting close to the end now, so I should be able to pinch and pull the rest of it back up and over. And there we go. Out it pops. And we can grab this cable now and pull it down into the sleeve. And then we've got to get this big part in the sleeve. So we push it, suck it into the sleeve. There we go. Now we can kind of keep it loose. Push all this back up now so it's loose. And then pull the slack. It's just a matter of working it through the sleeve. And then that'll keep most of the slack and stuff in the enclosure instead of up around the actual extruder, which would be a pain in the ass to have all that extra wire up there that you don't need. And then we can pull this down tight. Move that up a little bit more. Pull that down tight. And then make sure we don't unplug nothing. Get these back over. There we go. Now, pull that all the way back down. And there. Simple little fixes that tidy it up and clean it up. You know, nothing super crazy. But there we go. Now we've got just this one wire here, which realistically, I don't know that we want to keep this big old bulky sleeve on here for that, because, you know, we've got the Z motor coming out. JPP, if you're still floating around, bud, what do you think? Should I just take this one little piece of sleeve that only hides one 4-pin wire now? Should I just take this off? Because this is what it'll look like without it. You know, it'll just be one single wire. Or if I leave it on, we can try zip tying it up here and see if the zip tie will kind of keep it in place. It's up to you. Whatever you think. You'll download and print the... And Post makes a few things this week. You say take it off? I agree with you. That's just me, though. But I agree with you. I say take it off. So we'll go ahead and pull it from this end here. And then tuck this back in. I'll try to remember to send this with it whenever we either ship it or however we go about getting this back down to you. I'll try to remember to include this. So if you decide to put it back on, you've got it. But, I mean, realistically now, let me extend this up. You've got all these wires now that'll be nice and tucked into a sleeve here. This wire for the hot end is all tucked into a sleeve. And then you'll just have this one wire out here that'll just be riding up and down. That's it. And because again, we're sensorless homing, so the switch is unnecessary. Any more, the switch is unnecessary. Got to put a little zip tie on the end of the wire here. So let me dig out some zip ties. I went through and cleaned and tucked everything away in a drawer. So let's get these out of here. I got some tiny zip ties that came with the Micro Swiss, so we'll use those. They're nice and tiny. I appreciate all the help I can get. Yeah, Viking brother, I love you, man, and I hope more people go download your model. I know a lot of people are kind of getting annoyed by the gamification of 3D printing STL sites, but I get it, you know, I understand why. Engagement, man. It's all about engagement. I understand. People like it, like games and stuff, you know. They like that kind of stuff. So it's not for everyone, but for the ones it's for, I understand it. I need to I want to get just a little bit more of that slack out of there, but it's all right. Try and get this pulled down as tight as I can, because the tighter you get these, when you pull this down, the tighter you get this, the more everything kind of binds together and the stiffer it becomes, which can help you if you've got issues where your cables like to sag down. So let's get the zip tie on here, up here near the tippy top. There we go. Zip ties on. You guys can't see that, but there we go. And the zip tie is on now. I've got a cheap little dollar store badge clip that I'll put on up at the top to help keep all the wires and everything up on the top there. And then we'll pull this down. And for right now, just to keep it taut, we'll put a zip tie here at the base too. I think I'm getting a text message. There we go. I didn't tell the missus I was coming out to stream, so she doesn't know I'm streaming. Omar, good to see you, man. How are you? Can I send you a 3D printer? Well, Omar, it's not kind of how it works. I can work on things and see what happens, but I cannot promise anyone anything, okay? So I cannot make promises. Oh, hold on a second. All right, give me a second, guys. I got to send my daughter a copy of our insurance. She got stopped on her way somewhere. So give me a second to go pull up the file and send it to her. I think I put a copy of the insurance in the glove box, but you know, she's a teenage girl. Come on. I'm clicking on ID card. Give me my ID card. Why won't you let me click on that? Home. ID card. It won't let me click on the stinking ID card, guys, so I can show it. That's stupid. Why would you have an ID card? I can click on claims and that works, but I can't click on... Are you sure? Yes. No, wait, go back. I'm not trying to file a claim. I don't need roadside assistance. I just need my ID card. God, this thing is stupid. I hate dealing with it. Why can't it be like the good old days? Guys, I might have to leave for a minute to go up to Casey's, the gas station in town. Would you guys be cool with just hanging out and listening to, I don't know, maybe some music or something while I take a 15-minute trip? Otherwise, I can restart the stream. I know, I was going to go, but yeah, that's fine. Leave them out here. I'm streaming too, so. I'm trying to. Just, you got the app on your phone? Well, then come here and take my phone. Here, just take my phone. Here's the policy number. It won't let me click on the ID card, so just take my phone and go show it to them. Anyway, so there you go. There's the joys for today, guys. She's stealing my phone, and she's got to go take care of the kid, and yay. So we'll see what the kid did wrong. I'm good. We're sticking around, guys. I got the puppies. I'm on puppy detail. Here's the little badgie guy, the little dollar store badge clip. I'm just gonna zip tie this to the top of the frame here. Actually, we're gonna do two zip ties. We're gonna do one around the frame, and then one to go through the zip tie and around the clip. We've got to bend the zip tie first. There we go. And we'll just pop that through the clip and zip tie it on there. There we go. Zip tie that. Zip tie that. How hard is it to build a Voron switch wire? It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I love my switch wire. It's a great little machine. I do, however, really want a Trident. I like the cube frame printers, the Core XYs better. So I really do want a switch wire, or like a Trident. I had a 2.4. I loved it. I'm going to see if these wires will all clip in. I don't like the idea of clipping it together, though, because then this doesn't want to slide. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's see. Push this all the way over. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work there. That'll work there. And let's take this all the way to the top now. But no, the switch wires are not terrible. Just time. Give yourself time, you know. Don't try to rush it. So that'll work there. And that can go there and get zip tied in here. And then that'll be everything where it needs to be. We're going to cheat and use these tiny zip ties and go through the screw holes where the motor used to go. And put 2 of them in. We'll leave them a little loose for right now. Go up through the motor screw holes on the outside. And then there. That'll have room to slippy slide back and forth if need be. But there's that. So now that'll come down. And then this can go more here. So as it goes back and forth, that'll help hold it up out of the way. There we go. All right. We got everything pretty much where it needs to be. Also, JPP, just so you know, bud, I think, methinks I may have something worked out where I have a build plate coming for the K1 that resembles the Sliceworks plate right here. So it's a nice dipped Sliceworks plate. I got one of these coming. The only reason I would not want to, I may end up in the end putting the dip plate on the ender for you, good sir, is because I'd like to keep it because they're sending it for my K1. And since the K1 and the Ender 3 have the same bill volume, you know. But yeah, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. If nothing else, who knows? Maybe in all the miscellaneous parts people are sending me, they'll include a spring steel build plate for it, so the probe will work. I will say the printer wall has changed since I last saw it on Twitch. Yeah, it's getting very very low. This Ender 3 and then the blue cat ears you see back there, these two belong to JPP. This one is for JPP. I'm doing the build up on it. I'm gonna get it to him, and then he's got a woman that works at a youth group, or works with kids at a youth group, that he is going to be doing a couple more things on and then giving it to her. We're going to work on theming out the mainsail install for it, but right now it's just a matter of, I wanted to clean up and tidy up the wiring. This enclosure I don't think is going to work after all, so I'll have to look into something else. Just because, like I said, the way it hits here, it causes the back end to teeter, so not good, you know. So we're going to look into other Manta M4 or M4P Manta mounts, see what we can find. It would be nice because then it would just be one solid one with the wires connecting in the back here. Be real easy to put in and pull out, but this bar, the Y extrusion, for some reason it doesn't let it set like it needs to. But let's get this stuff kind of rolled up. I'm going to have to put together a little care pack of JPP. Here's some miscellaneous for you. We'll put this here and move this out of the way for now. We're done with the zippies. It's better I send my wife, by the way, for this ticket issue, because, yeah, women and police officers tend to go better than men in most cases. So, but yeah, here is this buttoned up now. Let's pull this one a little tighter down to the, it doesn't need to be, but we'll put a little zip tie on the end of this too, just to keep it. I just put zip ties away like an idiot. Where did my little pack of zip ties go? Did I just burn through all those little zip ties, or did I just get stupid and not pay attention? Well, we'll throw a zippy tie on it. Okay, there's a zip tie. Grab the nippers. Nip the end of this real quick. There we go. All right. MJ, yes. Good to see you, MJ. Hope you're doing well. Oh, there was one left that I put it in the bag with the other ones. And then I threw the little bag away that they were in. There we go. All right. All right. Well, that's done. We'll seal the K1 build plate and throw it back on here for now so we can fire this thing up, make it do some stuff, and make sure everything still works. We still got to push some plastic through this JPP and make sure that the hot end is turning in the right direction, and if not, we'll have to fix that. Put the screen over here, find that power cord. There it is. There we go. Move this out the way, get this plugged back in. Whoops, we dropped our alcohol. There we go. Get that to quit doing what it's doing, get it to stand upright. There we go. Whoops. Swing this down more. That way you guys can kind of see the screen and build plate. Everything else it's doing. Let's get this plate on here. Yeah, the K1 plate has those knockouts in the back, or the notches in the back. So let me move the microphone over here by my face more, because I'll be over here a little bit more now. There we go. All right. Grab the chair. Whoops. Got it stuck up under the laptop. My bad. There we go. All right. Well, there's that. Let's make sure that the extruder is turning in the right direction. Let's bump this up a little bit more. That way you guys will see when I shove some filament in there and all that fun stuff. Let's go to refuge.local, bring up the page. Jump over here to the right screen. Let's see. Do I have the bench cam in here too? I don't. Let's add that in real quick. Hold on a second. Let's add in capture. Boom. IPvo. There we go. Well, let's shrink this guy down some. There we go. Well, let's move this guy down. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we got some camera action going. We can do some stuff. So let's currently, let's set this to 210. And we'll heat the build plate to 60 just because. Make sure everything heats up like it's supposed to. Then we'll send some plastic down the pipe once everything gets heated up. It is using the stock thermistor or heater cartridge, so will take a little while to heat up, you know. But we'll get it heated up, and then we'll throw some material at it. Let me find a roll to put in there for right now. We'll use the Pez-Rewinkle. Might as well. Let's use the Pez-Rewinkle. Yeah, see that pretty Pez-Rewinkle. It's one of the last rolls I won before I got sponsored by them, and now don't feel comfortable entering giveaways and such. Let's see here. There, filament's in. Now let's tell it to, let's move this out a little bit over the build plate. There we go. Now we'll tell it, red light, what's going on, good sir? What program is that you're using? Oh, this is Mainsail. It's running Clipper, and this is Mainsail. So this is the web interface that you see with it. Yeah, I do like my Mainsail. Some guys are, you know, not so much into Mainsail. But we'll come down here to the extruder. We'll do 10 mils at 10 millimeters a second, and we'll tell it to extrude and pray that we have it going in the right direction. And it is, let's see, which way did it go? Nope, it's backing out. Okay. No biggie. We can fix that real easy, guys. We go into machine. We go into printer config. Scroll on down here till we find the extruder, and our direction pin is inverted. It's got an exclamation point in there, so we'll go ahead and take that out, save and restart, and then we'll go back to the dashboard, wait for it to reboot. Fluid, not that much difference between them. Yes, I know, but I like my Mainsail. Go back up to this and go back up to 60. There we go. And then now we can tell it to push through. And I'm going to actually tell it to push 50 millimeters now at, we'll do 5 millimeters instead for feed rate, because I don't want it to grind and click a bunch. So you've never really messed with Clipper. 3D Printer Shack. What I tell everybody is this. Are you ready? If you've never played with Clipper and you want to get into Clipper, take an extra machine that you have that you don't need to rely on, and start playing around with Clipper. Once you get used to Clipper and the way it's set up, you will love Clipper and probably start converting all of your machines to Clipper if possible. Just because you saw how quickly I just inverted the motor on this printer without having to go back into Marlin, find find it, convert it, or find it, make the change, recompile the firmware, re-upload the firmware, all that stuff that you would normally have to do. You saw how quickly I just inverted a motor. It was take out an exclamation point and it was done. I save and restart, and then now we'll go back to the bench cam so you guys can watch plastic fly out of there. So you click here, and somebody is here. But let's go ahead now and extrude 50 millimeters at 5. Hit extrude, and let's see. Oh no, it is still backing out. Oh, we're going to have that issue again. Okay. Bear with me here a minute, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, never mind. It's the daughter home, so apparently my wife is there taking care of things. So, all right. Well, we also got to fix the E-steps. That's right. I'm trying to remember what I had to set that for on other printers in the past. Dang it. Let's do a quick Googly search. Let's see here. I'm streaming, so whatever you say with caution. Thank you.
Yeah, fucking take it.
Yeah, for what?
Mom's tagged $140.
Okay, and who you think's going to take care of that? So calm yourself down. It's fine, dear. Well, which one was it? Just okay. That's all. Okay, I love you. Let's see here. Mike, Bro, Swiss, NG, Flipper, rotational distance. Let's see if anybody's got that info out there. Save me the having to dig. Hold on a second, because daughter's freaking out, guys. What? Okay. She was yelling at me to tell me she's stealing the girls. Okay. So let's see here. Rotational distance of 8 is what this guy's got. All right. It might be even less than that, but it's okay. All right. Mine finally dialed in at 765. We'll steal that for now and try it. It doesn't hurt. It's a good, like, stepping off point. So now we go back into the printer config. Let's go back here. Go into the printer config. Let me bump up the font size for you guys. I realized that I didn't do that last time, but there we go. So now, again, you come in, extruder, and then rotational distance. What I like to do is comment out the one that's already there. Whoops. And then add in another rotation underscore distance. Boom. And then paste in the 765 because that's what it'll be a nice starting point. Things to remember with rotational distance: the lower the number, the more it moves. It's weird in Clipper; it goes backwards. So the higher the number, the slower it goes. The lower the number, the higher or the faster it goes. So there you go. But yeah, so there's that. Save and restart, and go back into dashboard. Wait for it to come back. There we go. 10. I need to just set the presets for that. There we go. Okay. Now we'll come down here to machine. We'll try again and see if we extrude 50 at 5, what it does. Yep, it popped the filament out. Yep. Okay. So we'll give it a minute. Go back into machine. Back into printer config. Maybe it was pulling instead of pushing and I was just being stupid. So we come back down here to extruder, to direction, or the direction pin. We'll put the exclamation point back in, save and restart. Go back to dashboard. And this is how quick and easy this is, because if you were doing this in Marlin, guys, you would have to jump back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and keep, you'd have to keep going with it. I'm just keeping everything preheated because why not? And then we'll have to make sure that distances are moving as far as they're supposed to. One of my Octoprint servers died. Ooh, gotta fix it. Lurking. All right, have fun. Steph, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's get the filament kind of in there. Gotta nip this end off real quick. There we go. There we go. Scroll down. And let's tell it to extrude 50 at 5. Let's see. Nope, it's coming out again. So we're having that problem with the extruder wanting to only go in one direction. I wonder if that was the reason why I didn't use this board before, which is gonna suck, because I mean it's this board. Well, let's go ahead and power cycle everything just to find out. Reboot. Give it a minute to do its thing. I think that might have been an issue I was having with this board, is that for some reason the extruder would only go one direction no matter how many times I tried. I think that might be why this board was sitting out. What can I say? I haven't been having the greatest of luck with boards like this, so that's going to suck if that's the case, because we just went through all of this. At least we got a bunch of stuff done when it comes to getting stuff mounted, getting everything ready to go. But it's going to suck if that's the problem, is this one will only extrude in one direction. Extruder steps. Yeah, we're working on the E step, or in Clipper, it's rotational distance. So that's what we're kind of working on. I just have to wait patiently for the printer to come back up. You've had some not reverse at 32 step? Okay, well, I'll take a look. Was it at 32? I don't remember if it was. Yeah, keep your complaining. Restart the firmware, let's go. We'll take a look. If that's the case, then I'll bump it down to 16 steps and see if that fixes the issue. Well, there's a lot more stuff showing up in here now that wasn't showing up in here before. That's weird. But anyway, scroll down. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's at 16 steps. So it's running 16 microstepping. Filament 175, nozzle diameter 4. So all that stuff is in there. Yeah, it looks correct. Everything looks good. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's go back to dashboard. Let's bump our temps back up. I'm just going to bump up the hot end. And while we're at it, let's click on here. Let's come down to presets. Let's make a couple presets real quick. Ready? Preset 1, PLA. We're going to make this 210, 60. Say preset. Add another preset. We'll call this one PETG, because you never know. And we'll do 230. We'll just do 230. And we'll make the bed 70. And we'll say preset. And then we'll add another preset, and we'll call this one bed level. We'll say bed level. Boom. We'll do the nozzle at 60, or at 170, and the bed at 60. There we go. Now close that, and now I can just hit the presets whenever I need to. So like PLA, there we go. Now I don't have to keep typing them in manually. Rotational distance 2198 Bondtech 5mm gear drive is what you have on the CR10. Yeah, this is running the Micro Swiss NG. So it's rocking a Micro Swiss NG on this one. So it's way lower because it's like a 3-to-1. So yeah. See? Like 7.65 is what they've got for some other ones. Oh, different than, yep, it's different. It's okay though. Let's see, now that we've restarted everything, let's just see if we come down here and we'll do it at 10. Let's just see. I'm going to push in on the filament and just see if it grabs it or if it goes the other direction. Yep, nope, it's trying to feed it back. So you're late to the game, filament Vic. Yeah, that's all right though. Don't worry about it, brother. It's all good. All right. Well, let's go back down here. Let's go back to printer. Let's invert it again, and we'll give it a reboot and see what happens. Direction pin. Actually, is there 2 direction pins in here, and I'm just missing it for the extruder? Did I do something dumb there? Nope. Oh. Direction. Yeah, there's only 1 direction pin under extruder. So let me see something. That's using PB4. Let's make sure that the pin is correct. And it's not trying to feed off of one of the other pins for direction. PB2, PB14. Let's go to the thing and make sure PB4 is the right pin to use. So let's go to Big Tree Tech GitHub. And then let's go to the repositories and find the M4P and go to hardware and then go to pinout. And let's look at extruder is PB4. Yep. PB4, PB13 for the CS. Step pin is PB23, or is PB3, and PD5. So let's go back to here. Scroll down. Step pin is 3. Step pin is 5. So why is the step pin? Oh no, step pin. Sorry, I was the enable pin. PB3, PB4, PD5 for the enable pin, which the enable pin, yes. I wonder if it's the enable pin that's inverted that's messing with it. I doubt it. I don't think it would. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Well, let's see here. We took that out. Let's see. On one of the other drivers is the enable pins. Yeah, that one's inverted. That one's inverted. Yes, all the enable pins are inverted. So I wouldn't think that would be the issue. And the step pin obviously should be left alone, I believe. You don't have to mess with the step pin. It's just the direction pin. So let's save and restart. Let's go back. Yeah, Vic, if you would check out your Manda config and let me know. But I've had this problem now that I'm playing around with this board. I remember I had this problem with it the last time on another printer where the step pin, or not the step pin, the direction, no matter what I did, no matter what changes I made, the direction pin would always just pull or extrude filament, or retract, not extrude. But let's try this again. Preheat, PLA. It's already over the temp, so we should be fine. Let's see here. Grab the filament. It's not pulling filament. Okay. That's down in there. We got to get the teeth to line up, so there we go. Yeah, oh, we got to get the fan taken care of. It's freaking the part, or the, yeah, let's fix the fan real quick, guys. Let's turn that off because we're getting the damn thing too hot. Cool down. I forgot the fan on the front's not spinning. We got to go fix that fan pin. So good thing we got the pinouts up. Let's go to printer. Scroll down here. Find the fan section while I'm kind of waiting. Fan 1 is the fart fan. Instead of part fan, it's the fart fan. PD2 and, or yeah, PD2 and PD3. PD2 is spinning like crazy. Let's make sure that those are right. So we'll look up the fan pins here real quick. Fan 0 is PD2, fan 1 is PD3, and I believe those are the two I've got them plugged into. Fan 0 is the part cooling fan, and fan 1 is the hot end. So M8P. Yeah, this is an M4P. So the pins will be different because it has less to control. But let's see here. So PD3, PD. Let's do this. Ready? PD2. Because PD2 is fan 0. And there we go. And then PD3 is the other fan. So let's do PD3 for the fart cooling fan. Save and restart. Yeah, I put it in and I took it out and it's still, either way, if I invert it or not, it still does it. Oh, for crying out loud. Save and restart. Come on. Don't be like that. Don't save. Let's go back. Now let's try again. This thing may be power. It can't be uploaded. Yes, I know. So let's restart. See if it'll restart. How about 180, the connector itself? I mean, I can try it. It very well could be that the pinouts for the motor are incorrect. It's not sending it. It's not sending it the right way. Yeah, we can try it. Give me a minute here, though. I wanna get this thing to understand me. It's currently hung up. DOS is not making me happy. See, it won't do anything. It won't reboot. It won't do nothing. And the screen is still hung up. There it goes. Okay. Here. Power it off. Give it a second. Power it back on. But yeah, the part cooling fan is spinning like crazy, but the hot end fan is not. So we'll reboot it and we'll see what happens. Hmm. There we go. Most of what you've learned is from doing it wrong. Yeah. Just tossing out things to see what sticks. Agreed. Agreed. All right. Now let's go back into machine. Let's go back down to printer config and let's go back down and flip flop the fans because the part cooling fan is spinning like crazy. Whoops. So we just got to flip flop these two fans. Easy enough. Two. I could just unplug them and swap them. I mean, I have everything all undone, but it's just easier to do that. There we go. Now the fan is cooling the right part. Now if we go back to the dashboard and scroll down, we turn on the fan. There we go, and part cooling fan came on. So there we go. Now the part cooling fan is working as a part cooling fan, and the heat or the hot end fan is working as a hot end fan. We'll let that cool down a little bit since it kind of got heat soaked. Yeah, it kind of got heat soaked a little bit. Oh, let's see something here. There we go. Did you see that? Since green is a thing for this build, we'll change the screen to green. There you go, JPP. You see that? Here, let me go to bench. Bam. Look at that. It's you can change the color from within. See? Purple, red, and green. So there you go. Yeah, configuring config is config you do best. Thank you, Filament Vic. Yeah, a lot of people don't go in here and play around with the config files on stream. They do a lot of that stuff, elsewhere. Well, thank you, Filament Vic. Yeah, I try to do things that like just stream what I'm working on, what I'm doing, because it's stuff that other people are going to be doing too at some point. Like it's something you're going to come across. And if you can go in and be like, hey, well, when he was in here, he did this. Yeah, granted, you may have to go through an hour or 2 or 3 or 6 of a stream, but if you remember seeing it, at least you know which stream it was and you know where to kind of fall back to look at the how I fixed the problem myself. So you've had a lot of the stuff you did or that I did the day prior in your configs. Nice. Yeah. It is cool when you can kind of see something that somebody does and then go add it in yourself. Um, but let's just see here. Now that that's kind of restarted, the part cooling fan turns off, or the hot end fan will turn off once it drops below 52, so that's nice. 50, I mean. So it's not constantly running. You don't have that fan constantly spinning. Like the fan you just did, I copied you doing it a month ago. Yeah. It's easy to like unplug a fan and plug a fan in, but at the same time, if you know that the pins, all you got to do is, again, I went to the board, I found the pinouts, I found out what pin went to which fan right here, and then it's just a matter of you go into the config and you just change that pin, you know? So if you've already got the fans already all, like everything's all tucked away, the electronics are all there, on the teacher's kids reality. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. But no, I mean, it's just a matter of swapping things around in the config file. Once you understand that pins, the firmware looks for a pin to control it based on what you told it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Philip and Vic, I'm glad that I was able to help you and who knows who else. The printer bed mesh config, I haven't played around in here yet, but this is where we'll have to go in and just make sure that, it should be pretty straightforward in this. This shouldn't have anything really to play around with because it goes based off of the other parameters, and then it just uses, like, see, this says clicky available, so we don't use a clicky, but I'm currently listening to hear if my wife comes home. I'm probably going to mute you guys for a minute, call my wife, and find out what's going on. So give me just a minute. I am kind of curious. I haven't heard from her yet, and just need to know what's going on. Okay, well, I was going to call her, but she just pulled in the driveway. So I got up and ran out. More than one machine with a single clipper instance on a Pi. Yes, you can, Robert. You certainly can. My recommendation is don't go more than two. Because you got to remember is if that Pi goes down, those machines both go down. Well, you have to rebuild the Pi. I always recommend if you can stick with one per device, do that. If you can't, you can do multiple clipper instances on one Pi. Or if you're running a little beefier machine, deviled eggs have given me an aura. Yes, Shane. But no, you can run multiple instances of Clipper on one machine and run, or on one board. You can run up to 4, I believe, on a Pi, because obviously 4 USB ports, but then you don't have any space available if you want to hook up a webcam or something else USB related. The If you had a laptop, you could run Linux on this, install Clipper on this, and then run as many devices as you can safely run. You're going to want to look at your CPU usage. That's going to be a big one. But a lot of guys are taking those little mini PCs, the little, I call them like dumb terminals, but like the little mini PCs. A lot of guys are taking those because they're pretty beefy, an Intel processor. You can up the RAM on them, and then what they'll do is they'll run Clipper on those. Because again, all you gotta do is install Debian Linux, and then you can use the Clipper install and upgrade helper, or a flavor of Debian Linux. Ubuntu, Linux Mint, whatever, and then just follow the install process on the Clipper install and upgrade helper, and put in there as many as you need. Lock each core into each printer. Yeah, you can do stuff like that too, where you basically give each printer its own core to use. You could throw it in a VM environment. It can be done. I mean, anywhere you can run Linux and then connect the printer to it, you can do it. So you just have to be able to, when you set up your VM, just basically point that USB at it, and you should be okay. Yeah, that's going to be your biggest concern. Is just making sure that, like, if the printer becomes unplugged and plugs back in, that it maps back to that port. You just want to make sure that your USB is mapping correctly. Oh, the missus is here. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to mute because I don't know what she's going to say. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, so my daughter got a $140 ticket for driving with an expired plate. Expired plate. So we got to get a new sticker for the vehicle. Funny part is the sticker's due in December, and we're gonna have to pay to get a sticker now, and then get another sticker in December anyway. So anyway, got to figure out how to take care of that. Yeah, 140 bucks for driving on an expired tag, but the tag's almost a year expired, guys. So yeah, you know, we were hoping that we wouldn't have to take care of it till my raise came through, which hopefully my raise will come through. Everybody, cross your fingers for October 15th. Cross your fingers. Hope I get my raise. Cross your fingers, because I really need that. Got a few light camera tickets coming soon. Thank you, Jose. By the way, hi Keela, how are you, dear? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's kind of regroup and figure out where the hell we're at. Um, yeah, Clipper instances. You can run as many Clipper instances as your machine can handle. But just know, the more machines that rely on one machine to control them, that means that's that many more machines that will go down when something happens. So keep that in mind. To rebuild Clipper, to reinstall Clipper is not very hard, as long as you back up all of your configs and everything important. What I mean by that is this stuff right here under machine. These config files, back this stuff up. When I'm done and I have everything dialed in and it's working, I'm going to actually pull all these files and upload them to my GitHub, so that if JPP or the person he gives this printer to, when all said and done, has any issues, they can go over to my GitHub and pull them. For Marlin stuff, I'm not really going to mess with that because it's Marlin. But when it comes to Clipper stuff, if I do Clipper printers, I'll try to remember to put them up there, and I'll put the printer's name, and they'll be up on my GitHub. And if anybody wants to play around with those config files for builds they're doing that are similar, they can always go snag those files and put them in there. I'll try to remember to be a little more descriptive too when I upload stuff. So putting in there that, like what the printer build is, what it consists of. So, like in this case, it'll be an Ender 3 running a Micro Swiss NG hot end with this board, and, whatever other details I can include. That way, when people go to look, they can say, hey, he had this running in this, and he had this running in this, and these are the two pieces I have. I can go pull this from this file and this from this file. Yeah. I mean, at least you guys could smash that like button. Would be greatly appreciated. I'm not always crazy, like bouncing off the walls. Today is Sunday. I still have a lot of things on my honey-do list. I have to fix part of the fence so the puppies don't get out. I got to clean up my house. Keela, do me a favor. Let Jeremy know that I have a guy coming tomorrow. Let me go over here. Just so you guys know, I've told a lot of you guys before, and I'll tell you again. We've been without a furnace for the last 2 winters. We've been running off space heaters, which is about $1,000 a month in power use, which puts us behind on our power bill every year. And we end up paying and paying and paying, and we never get caught up, and we're always behind. So, how'd you get up here? Get my honeydew list. But what I was going to say is, let me turn down my mic. I'm noticing it's clipping out here. Let's go down right there. Let's see, is that better? Not so loud anymore. But no, so my parents are in a situation where they can help me now. And what they're going to do is, the guy's coming tomorrow to give us an estimate for the furnace replacement. And then my parents are going to borrow some money, and then I'm going to pay them back for that. Because hopefully this loan comes through, or this raise goes through, and then we'll be able to kind of help them out with the loan to get the furnace replaced. So hopefully, if all goes well, we'll have a new furnace before winter. Cross fingers again. But yeah, I mean, I got to do my usual now that I gave you guys a heartfelt story. If you want to help me out monetarily, PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo are down below. Feel free to send money. There we go. But that all being said, so the furnace situation should be getting worked out. Should be. I hope. I'll know tomorrow. The guy's supposed to be here around 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna take a half day tomorrow. Haul butt home, get here. I might not even take a half day, depending on what time I leave. I may just leave and then just work the extra hours throughout the week to compensate for it. But it'll be nice to hopefully get that taken care of. Filament Vic with a $5. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. I would do the high five, but that's already taken by somebody else. The guy that I keep getting told I kind of look like. I keep claiming he's my brother from another mother. I'm the nerd of 3D printing. So, but I guess let's see. I think, let me look at this board and make sure there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe something's jumpered. Okay, this extruder comes down. Everything looks right. There's no issues with solder with it being jumpered. I'll have to do some Googling here today and see if anybody else has had this problem and find out if there's just something I'm missing. You know what I mean? Because there could be something that I'm missing here that isn't right that should be. But it's weird. It's only one stepper that's doing it. It's the extruder stepper. You know? And it's a different stepper mode or stepper driver that I'm using right now than, so I know it's not the stepper driver because I've used like 3 or 4 different stepper drivers. And actually, since the extruder doesn't use sensorless homing, I have tried different steppers and we still haven't had any luck. So I don't exactly know why it's doing it. It's irritating. But you know what we can do? I don't know right now. Yeah, got an hour and a half of streaming in already, so thank you guys. And in an hour and a half, my daughter's left the house, gotten pulled over, gotten a ticket, and come back home. So it's been an eventful day. I can tell you that I will show you that I'm not kidding. I can't show you the front of the ticket, but here's the back of the ticket. See, it's 2 pieces of paper, so it's definitely a ticket. Missing, or you've been missing some room. So Vince, what you missed is my daughter left to go pick up my mother-in-law to take her into town. The tag on my vehicle is expired, and we haven't been able to. How do I put this? We haven't been able to afford to get a new tag because in the state of Illinois, it's $151 for a tag. That's a lot of money when you don't have $151, and you're paying $400 a month for freaking car insurance because. They tell you, oh, yeah, oh, no, the stepper issue. Sorry. But there was that. Anyway, pity party aside. No, what's happening is on the extruder motor, every time I tell it to extrude filament, it is retracting. And then when I reverse the stepper in clipper, when I go in and reverse the direction pin, it still will only extrude filament. It will not, or it won't extrude filament. It will only detract. It keeps pulling out, not pushing in, no matter which way I flip it. Been feeling bad? Well, Keela, quit feeling bad. You're a wonderful person with a big heart and you like people, so enjoy people. Or if people are the problem, then, the hell with people. Go cuddle with your kitten. There's not a second extruder port. It's a Manta M4P, so it only has one extruder. And I think I could swap the extruder motor plug to a different one and see if it... Yeah, let me do that. Hold on a second. Because maybe it's a motor issue. I doubt it. It's LDO motor. But let's do this real quick. Let's power this off. Let's do this properly. Power it off. Shuts down. I'm going to swap the extruder with the X motor. So we're going to swap the extruder with the X motor for right now. Let me repower it up. I'm going to heat up the hot end and I'm going to tell it to extrude, and we'll see if it goes one way and then goes the other. Is it the wire or a wiring issue? Had that with the rail core. I don't necessarily know. I used the jumper cable that came with it and plugged it in. It is an LDO motor, obviously, so there could be something there, but it's not clicking and grinding when it moves. So the only thing I can think is, Filament Vic mentioned it, is flip the motor, like flip the wires, and see if that will take care of the problem. So what I'm going to try, though, real quick is a different motor and see if the motor goes, because if that's the case, then we know that it's probably something in the motor itself, the way the motor is wired. Yours only moved in one direction without the cable. Without the cable. Well, let's go ahead and preheat so that it'll let me move. And then once it's heated up, we'll see if X will move. Got to preheat the printer to move my X motor, guys. Oh, without the adapter cable, it was wired. It was weird. Okay, so we can find out. It may be the little adapter, which is going to suck because I just ran that wire up through there. But I can see if I've got another. I'm pretty sure I got another motor cable floating around here somewhere. I'll dig it out, and if I have to, I'll just swap out that motor cable with a straight cable from end to end. Because like you said, it could be something in the adapter that Micro Swiss sends that may have something wrong with it. It's possible the pinouts on the extruder is opposite. Yeah, so that's why I think that's why Vic was mentioning flip the plug. So we'll try that too and see if maybe the enable and the direction pins are flipped and that's causing the problem. So I'll just, when I know once it's preheated, which it's close enough now, let's tell it to extrude. We'll just do 10. Because we're actually, yeah, we'll do 5. And we'll tell it to move it too so that it goes slow. Let's hit extrude. Okay, it's going towards. Now let's tell it to retract. Nope, still going towards. So it's still moving towards whether I tell it to extract or retrude. Or extract or retrude. Retract or extrude. So let me go back to this camera here. Let me go up and over. So we're cheating, but we're not, we're cheating to see if it'll work. So let me disable the steppers real quick so I can move this back. Now watch. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on retract. Why did the extruder move? Because I swapped the motor. I swapped it to the X motor to see if it was a wire issue. But there it went one, and then now I'm going to hit extrude, and it's going to move again. So I just flipped the motor. Yeah, I just flipped the motor. So I told it to use the X motor. So yeah. So you can see, guys, no matter what I'm clicking here, let me go back and go to the right screen, and you can kind of see the extruder over here in this camera. See it right there? Now watch. You're going to watch me click so you know I'm not lying to you. I'm going to hit retract. And there it goes. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click extrude, and it's still moving. So whatever the problem is, it's something, as far as I can tell, it's something board related. Because in the config, we've got everything set. There's really not much in here that you can mess with. And when we come down and look at the extruder, you've got your step pin, your direction pin, and your enable pin. What driver? 2209. But again, like I said, if we flip the motor wire, we'll see if maybe that's where the problem is, because maybe it's reading the enable pin. Actually, if that's the case, let me see something here real quick. If we take the... No, because it should still want to go in both directions, right? I would think. What driver 2209? Yeah, it's a TMC 2209. It's a big tree tech stepper. And I've used different steppers and I still have the same problem. Because I remember the last time we played around with this one, I was going to put this in another printer. Try that on the PB4. I have filament Vic. Let me put it back in there. But again, it's only going in one direction. And the enable pin, I'll put that back on too. So it's only going in one direction no matter what I'm trying. So let's see here. Well, that's rebooting again. Let's go here and let's go Manta M4P stepper moving in only one direction. My Z stepper is only moving in one direction. Well, that's kind of the problem I'm having. It's a stepper going in the wrong direction. This is a video. Yep. And then you go the other way and it doesn't move. Nope, that's not what I'm having a problem with. Stepper motor only moves in one direction. Stepper only goes in one direction when running. Let's see here. Stepper motor overheating. That wouldn't be the case, I wouldn't think. Let me see. Yeah, no, stepper is cool to the touch. Yeah, I did filament Vic. We've tried that. We're going to try it again, though, just to see. But no matter which direction I tell that stepper to go, it goes one direction, out. Let's see here. Stepper motor will only move in one direction. No matter what direction. Stepper motor will only move in one direction. Let's see, stepper moves in one direction when running. When running, stepper buzz E3. Your direction pin on the stepper is probably incorrect. Yeah, no, that's not the case, guys. Upon looking at the clipper log, it came across an error. Does anyone know what this means? Best course of action. No, I have no clue what all that means. You skipped a link. Wait, the E-axis goes in one direction. You skipped a link. Where was it, Shane? Let me go back. This one right here. One direction. See here. I don't know why. They all turn to the end stop except for the Y. Would help take. Most stepper systems send step signals, a directional signal to driver. If you happen to have this sort of system, can I narrow down to a single problem? Digital voltmeter. Basic tests. Well, no, the title was E Goes One Direction. Uh-oh. The Clipper forum. Okay. Stepper motor is overheating. Oh, E-axis only moving in one direction. Thank you. Jesus H. All right. Hey, what's going on, AA Ron? We're just trying to figure out why this Manta board is only moving my extruder stepper in one direction. Correct. And that would be easy if you knew what board you were using. I think the thread is closed. I found the problem. It was an electrical problem with the control board. When I connected the wires to another power outlet, it works fine. Yeah, about that. Interesting. Just tested. I switched it back to normal after posting. Saying it's a power issue that would cause only one stepper. think the thread was closed, found the problem. It's an electrical problem on the control board. When you connect the wires to another power outlet, it works fine. That's going to be really weird if that's what the problem is that it's power related like that for just the extruder stepper, but whatever. I will unplug from here. It's going to be really weird if that ends up being what the problem is. I'm not even going to lie to you. Unplug that. Plug this in here. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see. The comment seems to be as useful as a screen door on a submarine. It's kind of what I'm thinking, because it would be weird that the printer's getting just enough power to power 3 of 4 steppers, especially when, how do I say this nicely? There's only one fucking stepper moving at a time. At this point, we're just doing testing, so that just seems weird to me. I mean, we're gonna try it. I still have it hooked up to the X motor. I haven't switched it, so now we'll be able to see a little easier. You'll have a better visualization or visual representation of the extruder. So it's not like the board's trying to pull power for all the steppers and that one stepper is suffering because the other 3 steppers are pulling the more juice. You know what I mean? And because I put this board in several different printers, or in 2 different printers, and I've had the same problem in both printers, I know the power supplies are different. So it's a different power supply. It's going to be weird, but if it works, that's going to be the weirdest thing I've seen in a while. But I'm not one to not try things. Let's preheat this bad boy back up, because again, I know I could hit the little override to override the extruder and make it move, but it's just kind of funny to say that, you know, right now I have to preheat my extruder to move my X motor. It's just funny to say, you know. I mean, how often do you have to preheat your extruder to move your X? Just saying. So, you can see it back there. Scrolly. Let's see. Yep. It's almost up to temp where we can move things. It's getting there. And we are over 180, so let's come down here now and let's tell it to retract. Going in one direction, still the same direction. Now let's see if we extrude, if it goes backwards. Nope, still going the same way. Definitely not. Were you using the same stepper drivers? No, Shane. I'm using the same 2209 steppers, but it's not the same stepper. I have tried swapping the stepper out. These are the steppers that were actually in the ANET A8 Plus instead of the steppers that were on my desk. So these are different steppers. And again, you know, then the board is fucked. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So I'm thinking that, and the best part is this is the board that came with the switch wire. So had I put that board in the switch wire, I would have had problems. So it's a good thing I didn't use this board in the switch wire. But yeah, when I got that kit, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I've used different steppers. I've connected different motors that are wired differently. So it's stock wired motor from Creality, not the jumper cable from Micro Swiss. So that's not working. It's a different motor that I'm testing on now. We're using my X motor as the extruder. It's still not working. The pinouts are reading what the board says. So each pin is labeled according, or is in the config file as they are labeled on the sheet. We've tried inverting, we've tried not inverting. The only thing we haven't done is the enable pin is invert or uninvert that, because currently it's inverted. So the only thing I think is we can try taking the invert off of the enable pin. So let's come down here just for giggles. Let me go to the right screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Like the enable pin for the extruder is inverted, but they're all inverted. If you look, every one, the enable pin is inverted. The enable pin is inverted. So they're all inverted for X, Y, and down there for Z, or for Z, ZZ, whatever you want to call it. See, they're all inverted. So really, I don't know that would do anything or should do anything, but as a Creality motor, I had problems with one direction like yours having. Yeah. And it's crazy because we tried the LDO motor that comes on the NG. It has an LDO stepper, and then the Creality motor for the X, and it's having the same problem with both motors. So let's, for giggles, let's just see if we take the enable or the invert off of the enable pin. I mean, we're shooting fish in a barrel here trying to figure this out. So you're trying two different motors. Yes, Filament Vic, we have tried two different motors with two different wire, two different harnesses. The one that came from the extruder down with the jumper wire, and the one that's coming directly from the X motor. I just unplugged it from the board, scooted it over, and plugged it in. So we're using different wires, different motors, different steppers, and we're having the same problem with both. So the only thing we just did, like I said, is I just went in, we'll preheat again, but I just took off the enable or the invert on the enable pin. So let's just see if that is what the problem is. So let's let me try to extrude. Now it's not moving at all. What's it saying? Any errors? Nope. All right. Well, let's try extruding. Yep. With the enable pin inverted, it's not doing anything. It's not moving. So apparently it needs to have the enable pin inverted. So it won't even move there. Need to set a preheat like you did? Yes, Filament Vic. Definitely set your preheats. They're nice to have. So let's go back into the printer config. Scroll down here to the extruder. Z. Wait a minute. I'm overshooting what I'm looking for. Let's see here. There's X, there's Y, there's Z, safe homing, extruder. There we go. I missed it. Okay. So we'll re-invert the enable pin, save and restart. Need to set the heat profiles like you did. Google it now. Oh, it's easy enough, bud. Just click up here on the gear, and then come down here to preset. And then you just click on add preset, and then just give it a name, and then set your heat values. It'll look like that. So I named this one bed level. Sets the nozzle to 170, and then the build plate to 60. And then in my case, I'll hit update preset, but you'd hit save, and then they're in there. That's it. Yeah. That's the nice part about Clipper, man, is it starts to make everything so easy. And then you just can click the drop down for preset, and you have bed level, PETG, and PLA, because those are the ones I set this one up with. Because I figure she's probably going to be printing mostly PLA with it, but on the off chance, she can preheat for PETG if she wants to. And then I created the bed level one because that's nice to have. That's just nice to have. So. But there you go. All right. So, I guess there's not really too much more to do today. I mean, we can theme this out, but if I'm not going to get another Manta board, it'll be kind of a pain because I'll have to go through and remap all the pins again. Which mana board? The M4P. Yeah, it's an M4P. Oh, my sons are home. So it's going to get loud. So give me a minute because he's probably going to pull the bike in the garage. So give me a second. Close the door. There we go. But yeah, it's an M4P, and it's yeah, being stubborn. So yeah. All right, let me open this now that he can. There we go. But yeah, so M4P board. Stupid flies, man. I gotta put a fly trap in here. But yeah, so I guess, I mean, we could play around a little bit. So on, bud. Where'd you guys go? Yeah, you guys want to go ride the curves, huh? Yeah. Yeah, there's 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts today.
Yeah, throwing us around like nothing.
Especially since that back tire is a solid disc, it catches air.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that Dad doesn't miss about riding that bike is when it was like super windy, since the back tire is nothing but like a big solid disc. It just catches the air and you feel the whole ass end of the bike doing this when you're riding down the road as the gusts hit. Yeah.
Road, and it's like,
Yep. But Dad's streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. OBS. Yeah. Dad uses OBS, not Streamlabs. I like my custom made presets I have on OBS. Yeah. I know. You're all fancy when you used to do stuff. Yeah, I like OBS better. I might have to take it tomorrow, considering the plates are expired on the Trailblazer and your sister got a ticket today. $140 ticket for driving on expired tag. Then I got to pay $140 for the expired tag, $151 to get the sticker, and then in 2 months pay another $151 for another sticker. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that Dad's hopefully got a raise coming through in 8 days, 9 days. So. Yeah, I know. It's pretty close. I saw that already. No. I hate that feeling. Yes, me too, Aaron. Aaron agrees that Streamlabs is poop on a stick.
When it first launched, it was alright. Now good luck finding anything on it that ain't a paid feature.
Yeah, my buddy Shane says F Streamlabs.
Yeah, they locked everything behind the paywall.
Paywall, yeah. That's why I'll stick with my OBS and I'll use my Stream Elements. Stream Elements is nice if I want to start putting overlays and stuff back on the stream and pull the chat in and stuff. It's nice. It works. I've been trying to keep the streams without a bunch of stuff on it so that when people come to watch the video, if they're actually trying to find useful information, they're not trying to do that through like emote explosions and, you know.
Yeah, like those chicks in the hot tubs where it's mainly them and then like an inch of gameplay at the bottom right.
You guys can hear my son, right? Yeah. Hey, did you see the frame for the backpack printer? Let's check it out. It's the blue one sitting there.
Yeah, I saw it in here earlier.
Yeah, we put it together the other night. Hi, non-fam. Good to see you, bud. But yeah, we put it together the other night on stream. Yeah, my LEDs fell down. I got to 3D print some clips. Somebody asked me to print them a soundbar for a Vizio TV. They're like, hey, can you print these? But I don't have their number saved in my phone, so I don't know who the hell it is. So I'm going to have to say, yeah, sure, but who is this? Because they asked me how I got ordained when I got ordained for, like, forever ago, and then reordained for Uncle Will's wedding so I could marry him. Yeah, they asked me how I did that, and I told them, and then I was like, it was just a number, and I'm like, okay, who is this?
Probably someone from World Club.
I don't know. You got ordained a year ago? Yeah, I used ulc.org. Yeah. Used to be Universal Life's Ministry was the one I used originally, but they don't keep track of stuff. Church of Life. Yeah. It's amazing how you just fill out a form and hit submit, and they're like, congratulations, you're ordained. You can marry him and bury him.
Well, yeah, it's just the same way. Just fill out an application, spend $20, and wait for the background check to get the funny little card
Mm-hmm.
that Illinois limited me purchasing certain weapons or items with them.
Yeah, certain pew-pews with, yeah.
Certain Nerf guns that don't have orange tips.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, look at the size of that frame. This thing's insane, because I realized something. It's a Boron 2.4 frame. So when I have this thing on my back, it's going to look like, let me grab it right. It's going to look like this on my back. So I'll be walking around like this, with this thing hanging off my back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty freaking
I'm
sweet.
gonna start smacking you thinking you're a loot goblin.
Yeah. So it's going to be about like this. This bar is going to hit about here, and that's going to be about there. And since I'm taller than Mitch, it won't be so bad. Because Mitch is a little fella. If Mitch was walking around with this thing on his back, it would be half a Mitch. I wish I was kidding, but anybody who knows Mitch, this is half a Mitch tall already. But yeah, so this I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna pull all of this stuff off and move it over to here. But I got to figure out where I got to put the other bar through here, so that the other part of the pack can meet up with it. And then I'll have those like this, and then I'll put the rail through the center and mount the printer in here. What I'll probably end up doing is taking like one of these shorter pieces and actually connecting it to here, so I can move it out just a little bit more, and then the other one will run through here, and then there'll be a little gap in the front, and then I'll be able to put a door on this, and then that'll keep hands out. I really just want to put plexi on the sides and then a door on the front, just so that when I'm walking around, event little kids aren't reaching in and touching stuff and torching their fingers on the hot end or something. And then the back will be open anyway, and then the top. I want to get a piece of plexi for the top too. That'll have a slit cut in it, so that and a notch cut out for the spool holder. So I'll have like a notch cut out here where the 2020 can come through, and then I'll have a slit where the filament can feed down in. So that's the plan. And then get that moved into there. And then another thought I have is down the road, depending on what smaller form factor printers Dad gets, I can have plates that have the printers on them, and they'll use the same 24-volt barrel plug on the side here. I can just get a bunch of those and wire those into the printers, and then I can just unplug that, take the printer out, put the new printer in, plug it back in, and then I can just swap out printers as I play around with stuff. So yeah, it's not going to be terrible because it's going to hit in the lower back, because it's got the pad and everything. It's got the pull over the straps, front clip, and then you got your waist clip. So basically you pull your waist clip and you pull it as tight as you can, because you want all that weight to sit on your hips, not on your back. And then the top is just to keep it from trying to tip off. Yeah. So sent you a DM, Dan. Okay. Where'd you send the DM to? On Discord? I'll go check. I'll go see if you sent it to me on Discord. I don't have Discord open because my computer crashed on me last night. I got to take this thing apart, clean up. Anybody wants to buy a computer?
I keep asking.
Tell them $1,200. If you can sell it for more than $7, I'll give you $100.
My buddy keeps saying they want a gaming computer, and I go, "Well, we got a running power."
Yep. I don't mind running vehicles right now either.
Not far from it. Did you say a price?
What?
I said, did you say a price?
For the computer? I said, tell them, well, you can tell them whatever you want to tell them, but if it sells for more than $700, I'll give you $100 commission for selling it for me. It'll be $100 in your pocket. I told Zach the same thing, so if you guys talk to your friends, anything more than $700, you get $100. Because realistically, I know it's worth 1,000, but you also know your old man. I never hold out. Um, yeah, Keela, give me a second here. I'll share my Amazon list, my wish list that I went through and made up, or we were working on stream the other night. It was hilarious because on Jerry's stream, I jumped in there and my buddy Sam Prentice, the guy who does the death racers and stuff, the British guy. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I was watching. He's like, I was watching YouTube last night, just lurking on his channel, and this guy was he was going through his Amazon wish list on stream, and he was putting stuff in there. I was completely clueless to what the hell he was saying. I don't know. I was just spacing out, and everybody's like pointing at me and pointing at me. It's like, oh yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. I was doing that. But here we go. Bam. There's my Amazon wish list if anybody wants to help out with sending me stuff. I do have the Manta, or not the Manta, the M4, not the M4, the EZ, the mini E3 EZ boards. Jesus, Linktree Tech needs to make this easier.
If anyone wants to be generous, you could use a 10 millimeter CP3 400 over injectors and an S400.
Yeah, get the truck running a little better. I mean, if anybody wanted to go crazy though, there's
Melt piston.
Yeah, melt the pistons. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, Sam's my buddy. I've known Sam for years. I'm friends with pretty much a lot of people in the community, or at least I'm an associate of theirs. We'll put it that way. I don't know if they'll consider me a friend, but I'm an associate of many people in the community. Um, but like I said in my stream the other night, there's just a lot of things going on in the community lately, and I just pulled back from a lot of it, and I'm doing my thing here on YouTube now, and I want to rebuild printers and give them to people. So that's what I'm doing. Rebuilding printers and giving them to people. It's not for everybody niche. I get that. Not everybody wants to, you know, wants to watch some old guy in his office working on printers. But for those who do, I appreciate them. The whole 16 of them that are currently watching, I have 16 concurrent viewers right now, which means Sam's probably lurking again.
Make sure that's really good. So much of the garage door and head out.
You just close the garage door and leave this one open. If you want, Chewbacca shouldn't run away. If you want, you can open the garage door too. I leave it open so he can run it back and forth out to the garage or out to the yard. At least now, while the weather's nice, I can do that. Since my air conditioner out here took a shit. So my AC out here took a shit. The furnace and the AC in the house doesn't work. Yeah, I'm planning on. I'm probably going to end up getting a mini split unit and putting it in out here so I can get heating and cooling from that. Because I'm figuring a mini split, I can get the smaller units that run off 110, which means I won't have to do any electrical out here. Panels right there. I can run a 20 amp, huh?
So even if you do the panel right
Yeah, I can run a 20 amp. I got a couple extra 20 amps in there. I can run one of the 20 amps from there out, and I'll mount it on the back of the garage off the wall so it's not down on the ground, but mount it off the back of the garage. And then the nice part is then I can just come in and across and then just mount it like right there up above the window. And then I can actually get a window in here. And then when the weather's nice, I can actually open a window and have a screen and keep the bugs out, since it flies all over in here because I keep that door open.
there.
Yeah.
You see they put a flag.
Yeah, the neighbor wanted it. They wanted they wanted to know where their property was. And the best part is Sam's like, I think our garage is on the neighbor's property. And I walked over and I stood right behind it and I looked down and you can see there's probably about 4 inches off the property line. I'm like, there's more than enough space considering the neighbor's garage is right there too. The gap between us is what, 3 feet, 4 feet between the garages. So I'm not worried about it. The neighbor said they've got a dog and they're planning on putting up a fence anyway. He asked me, he said, hey, he goes, if everything goes through, can we build up to your fence? I said, I don't care. Like, what the hell do I care? You know, if you want to attach your fence to my fence, have at it, man. That way your backyard doesn't have, we don't have to put that 12-inch gap between the fences or whatever the hell it is. I said, I don't care. Go ahead. So he's going to run his fence right up to our fence on one side, and then he's going to talk to Lynn and see if he can run it up to hers on the other. And then all he's got to do is come basically wherever off of, if Lynn's okay with, come off of Lynn's garage over to wherever, and then come from over here. He'll have to put a fence in between the house and the garage. But then in the back, he'll probably put a small piece of fence there, or he can even put it, I don't give a shit, come up here to the front of the garage and put one between the two garages. I don't give a shit. Hey, Bob Carnes, how you doing, good sir? Okay. Deal with the house HVAC first. Yes, we are, Bob. All right, bud. Yeah. See you later. Yeah, for those who are just popping in, yeah, the house is going to be taken care of. Hopefully, the furnace anyway. The furnace is the important part. We can work on the. Sorry, bud. Right down. The house furnace should be getting replaced here. They're coming tomorrow to do the walkthrough. So with some help from my parents, we're going to be getting the furnace in the house replaced finally. So that'll get done. If the furnace gets replaced, the squirrel cage fan went out. So I don't know necessarily that the AC is bad. The AC could be fine. It just, because the fan won't blow, it won't move anything. So once we get the new furnace put in, the furnace should work. Hopefully the AC will work and we'll be back up and running in the house. So hopefully all goes well. That'll get taken care of here in the next month before it gets super cold. So that'll get taken care of. And just at some point, I would like to get a mini split for out here, just to, hopefully keep this a little bit better climate control. Mini split units, thankfully, are way less expensive. And that's not something I need to do right now. That's not a top priority thing, Guy that owns the land around us is putting in a god-awful fence around our house. Wish we had the money for a privacy fence. Yeah, those panels are freaking insane. What are they, like $50-$60 a panel now for a 4x8 panel? Or not 4, but like an 8x6 or something like that. 8 foot long, 6 foot tall. Yeah, no, Keela, I do thank you for. Yeah, I thank you and Jeremy for that. You guys were definitely gonna help. If it didn't work out this way, it was nice to know you guys were gonna help. So thank you. But yeah, I mean, I've got a 6 foot tall, 8 foot section privacy fence around my backyard that's just falling apart, and thankfully, my neighbor down the road had taken his old fence down, and when he did, the panels were still in decent shape, so I just snagged a bunch of those and replaced the ones that were bad for now. And, I mean, we'll see how time goes. I'd like to replace it with a new fence all around, get it stained up, and hopefully get 20, 30 years out of it. Got to put a new roof on the house at some point. The roof is over 20 years old now, so my insurance doesn't like it, and they don't want to insure it, so I'm going to have to put a new roof on the house at some point. Home ownership, it's wonderful. Get to printing, make one, or make a plastic one. Yeah, I'll just start printing a fence. Anybody want to sponsor some ABS? We'll just start printing fence panels. Anybody got a printer big enough to print a 6 foot tall panel? I mean, I can print them in sections, and then we can just start snapping it all together. I could do that and just have a full ABS panel out back. That could be fun. Designing like plastic privacy fence panels and then printing those and sticking them up in the backyard and just do them like one section at a time. That could be fun, Bob. It could be fun. But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but Viking put out his candy dish, and I printed it. And it looks awesome. Look at that little guy. I'm going to take him to work and put him on my desk and fill him with candy. Yeah. This thing's... It's beefy. It's a beefy boy. It took like 12 hours. I still got to get a picture and post it up on Thanks for him to help him out. But yeah, got my little my little pepkin candy dish. What's the matter, bud? Come here. Oh, I'll turn. Come here. Come here. Come here. No, you being stubborn today? He just wants to sit on the floor and get petted. He doesn't want to jump up in my lap. But yeah. So I guess again, for anybody who doesn't is lurking and doesn't know who I am, I'm Dan. This is Maker My Nexus. I rebuild old 3D printers and then give them away to people. So if you have old 3D printers or parts that's collecting dust and you don't know what to do with them, consider reaching out, put them in a box, send them to me. If I can use them on a build I'm currently working on, I will. And if not, when we get to a build that requires those parts, I'll put them to use. Plans are still on the anti-things bandwagon, so I make him send me files directly. Yes, you do, good sir. That's I like I said, I get that not a lot of people like the things and the things gamification that they've done, and now Bruce is doing it with printables and Maker World's doing it. I mean, all the websites are doing it now, just trying to more or less. The websites are doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for the creators. This is not me saying something that's, controversial. Happy, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I see you are happy, so that's good. Hey, Martin. How is Martin? But the websites are doing it for themselves, because by playing games and giving prizes, they're bringing more attention to their website, bringing more traffic in. And that's all it is for them. It's numbers. It's a numbers game for these websites. So they're doing it for that reason. They're not doing it for the content creators, or not the content creators, but for the designers and the creators. It's not for them. It's money, because the more people using their site, the more money they're making from advertising revenue and everything else. So to think that this is something that is building the community, yes, in a way it is. It's one of those little happy accidents. By pushing their numbers, they're bringing more attention to designers. The problem is, if you create a culture where pushing certain designers more than others, or not letting it be a natural thing. It's not a natural thing. And this isn't a slap at anybody who's doing it, because, get your bag, play the system, get your bag, make your money. However you make your money, get it. Chase that money, get it. I'm not going to knock anybody for finding an opportunity to make money and doing it. I've had many opportunities to make money, but for some reason, morally in my head, I can't bring myself to do those things. You can build your entire fence for about $300 less than building the panels. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, to each their own. Do your thing. Make your money, get your money, chase your money. Do it. But I personally don't partake in the, I did it once. I got, in the maker side of it, I partook, and I saw how quickly I was getting pushed out, so I just quit playing, and it's fine. I made enough money to buy some parts I needed, and that was it. Replace panel, all but one post is rotten. Yep, I got the same problem, Shane. My posts are all starting to rot out. They're all wood panels. They're starting to rot out and snap, and I had like 4 posts snap on me this last winter because the snow was so heavy and it sat on the fence and it just dropped the fence, snapped the panels off, clean at the ground. So I had to go through, and thankfully a couple of years back we had built a chicken coop out back, and I used 4x4 pressure treated green lumber, and I happened to have some 4x4s back there that I was able to strip the fencing, the cage off of, and drop them into the, dig a nice, they were like 8-foot tall posts. So I dropped, 2.5, 3 feet down. Actually, maybe they're 10-foot posts. They were 10-foot posts. So I dug like a 4-foot hole and dropped it into the ground. And then connected the panels my neighbor gave me to it. So that was nice. I was able to fix a couple pieces. There's still some spots to the fence. There's just like it's about to go. And I got one spot where this big like weed turned into a tree trunk and came up and pushed the bottom of the panel out. So I gotta take that panel out and cut that thing down and dig it out and get it out of there so that it doesn't grow again where it's at. Conveniently, everything grows against the fence because the wind blows the seeds to the fence. They drop down into the ground and get rained on and everything else. And they don't really get messed with, so they dig roots and grow. So I've got to go around my fence and cut out a bunch of random crap. But yeah, I mean, guys, I'm not necessarily asking anybody back to the 3D 3D printer rehab project. I'm not asking anybody to actually go and buy stuff. If you have stuff laying around, put it in a box and send it. If you want to buy stuff, that's what the Amazon wish list is for. A lot of the stuff that's in there is control boards, stepper drivers. I got the 5-inch and the 7-inch HDMI touchscreens in there from Big Tree Tech, some steppers again. Yeah, I got some random stuff to help out with the streams. I got to take one thing out of there now, though, because I know I'm not going to have a desktop much longer, so I'll take that out of there. But, you know, a couple better webcams. I know Digital Dragon uses this Logitech, what is it? It's the Logitech Brio. So I can't afford, and I'm not going to ask anybody to send me, like, big Sony cameras with, you know, the cam link and all that stuff. I'm not going to ask anybody to do that. That's just craziness. I think I do have a camera in there, but no, I did. I took it out. Okay. Yeah, all that's really in there, and actually I can take this thing out of there too. But just like random wires and, you know, screw kits, heat inserts, some random tools just to kind of help out, you know. And then, of course, I put in the FlashForge Adventurer 5M because it's a good printer and I miss it. I mean, I'd like to get a row of Creality K1s up here because I know how much everybody loves Creality, but I got a K1, so I'd like to get a K1C and a K1 SE and a K1 Max and just have all those. You know, if anybody's got any pull at Creality, tell them to do it. May have some other stuff. Okay, yeah, that's all I ask is like, thank you for sending the board. That'll be awesome. We'll put it in this and I'll hook up the Raspberry Pi. Since we know that board is forked and I can install Clipper on the other board, so, and the nice part is the config files, I can pull all that stuff over and then we can just remap the pins, which, so if anybody's wanting to know how to remap pins in a config file, we'll go through that because we'll make a stream out of it. We'll go through and I'll show you how to like see which pins are which and how to remap them so that, you know, you're using, like if you change out your control board in a printer and you don't want to, you know, have to rebuild the entire config, this does take time, but it saves you from having to rebuild your entire config because you just basically go in and find your direction, end stop pins, all that stuff, fan controller pins, like basically all those pins, so you know where to copy and paste them into in your current config to make everything work. So we'll go through and do that on a stream. So Miss Keela, you and Mr. Lee Marie, Mrs. and Mr. Lee Marie 3D. Thank you guys for giving me another stream with some content in it. So it'll be something useful. And then after we get that done, then I think the next thing we'll do is we'll make sure everything is moving as it needs to, which that'll go through the pins one, because as we swap the pins over, we'll want to go through and test everything and make sure it moves and it's pushing plastic and all that fun stuff. And then once that's done, the next thing will be building the theme for it. So I'll show you guys how to build a mainsail theme, or how I do it. I cheat. I hack a theme that's already in existence and just put in the images and stuff that I want, and we'll go through that too. Yeah, I think we're at 2.5 hours almost of streaming, so thank you guys. But yeah, if anybody's looking for a gaming computer, let me know, because it's a good streaming computer too. If you want to know the specs on it, just say something in chat and I'll tell you the specs of the system if you're interested. I do need money, but I'm also a bartering guy, so I like to barter too. So, you know, if you have a printer that's comparable in price and you want to maybe meet some guy you met on the internet at a truck stop off the interstate, just remember 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Got to do what you got to do. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to get ready to wrap this up and go work on my honeydew list, because I got a fence I got to get fixed so the puppies can quit squeezing through, because the deck has slots that come down and there's gaps in between, and the puppies are getting through and running around in the front yard. Thankfully, they don't run off when they get out, but I got to go put some stuff in there to Lee Marie. What's going on? Good to see you as well, good sir. I am, good sir, I am. Like they say, good things come to those who wait. Sometimes you just got to wait longer than you think you need to. Get the Vorons going. Yeah, I would love more. I'm not gonna lie. Like here before I wrap this up, I'll tell you guys. Like ideally, obviously a Trident. Um, might have one coming. I don't know. I'm not gonna hold anyone to anything. If you say something, that's fine. I'm not gonna hold you to it. But there is. That's your honeydew list. Get the Vorons going. Yeah. But there may be a Trident 350, I believe is what he said it was. So there might be a Trident 350 coming to the channel for me. So I might finally have my Trident. But a Trident 2.4 would be nice to have, a newer 2.4 that has, like I said, 300, 350 on those would be ideal. I don't really care for the V0. I mean, if one ever showed up here, I wouldn't complain. But the V0 is nice, but eh. If I had one, I would definitely use it. I would put it to work. I'd actually probably build the V0 and take it to work with me and put it on my desk at work, because I don't really have a printer at work anymore. I don't have a printer at work anymore. But it'd be a nice little printer to have to print little miscellaneous knickknacks for the kids and stuff. So if I had a V0, I'd probably build it on stream, get it working, and then take it to work with me and leave it there. So that would probably be my work printer. Like I said, the Creality, the K1 series, I like them. A lot of people don't. I've had good luck with the two that I've had. The one before that one and then that one. I've had really good luck with them after I swapped out some parts, which again, that's the thing. I swapped out parts. That's why I like them, because they work, because I put the parts in them that they needed. So, but the K1s are nice. I wouldn't mind more K1s. The Flash Forge Adventurer 5M was a good printer. I missed that one, so I wouldn't mind getting another one of those. But ideally, I don't need a bunch of printers. But if I had more printers, it would probably be more incentive to start getting going on printing and selling stuff. Because right now, the only printers I have that actually are working are these three right here: the backpack printer, the Switchwire, and that. This guy's does work. It does print, but I've got some issues with that, so I have to tear it down and figure out what's going on with it. The ANET A8 Plus back there, I've been scavenging parts off of that thing like crazy, so I want to get that one rebuilt and give it to a new home, so that one will probably get rebuilt and get given to a new home. This one's obviously not mine, it's JPP's. Same with the little blue head you see back there, that's JPP's as well. And then the baby belt back there, the orange baby belt, at some point we'll work on that. And then that Delta printer that's like a 10-year-old Delta printer that's like a 12-volt system that nothing on it works well. It didn't work well to begin with, and we put it together. I tried getting it to print some stuff, and it's just not up to today's standards. So at some point, maybe we'll work on upgrading that Delta printer back there too, put some linear rails on it, upgrade it to a 24-volt system, put a modern board in it, modern display, and just modernize it, make it better. So that might be a thing we look into down the road. But for right now, my K1 is pretty much my go-to. The backpack printer has been printing. I mean, this came off of it. You know, this little Fennec Fox I did. He came off of there. So it prints well enough to print little knickknacks. So, but ideally, like I said, a Trident, definitely. I really, when I saw the Trident, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have said something about a Trident back when I made the deal with the buddy to get the 2.4. Um, but yeah, so Trident is my unicorn right now. That's the one that I've been chasing for a while. Positron would be fun. Um, the Positron is not a for everyone printer. I get that. I would like to have a Positron. I mean, I'd like to support the group. They're a good group of guys, so it'd be fun to have them. You know, maybe turn it into a interchangeable in the backpack over here when I get this thing. You know, get working on that thing too. That's another thing. So maybe I'll get this one done, get it ready to go. We'll get this off to JPP along with that guy. Might have to take a road trip because 2 big printers is probably going to cost $200 to ship both of those. So probably just be easier to spend $200 in gas and take a road trip. Plus I get to see some scenery, you know. So do that, take that down to JPP, drop it off to him and the missus, get them their stuff back, and then come home. And yeah, I think after I'm done with this, I think I'm going to work on, yeah, some friends, and start working on getting the rest of that done so that we can move this into that and have a better enclosure for the backpack printer. Or if I go down the path, like I said I was going to, be able to make it an interchangeable thing. So depending on where we're going and what we're doing, I can just swap out a printer, just undo a couple of thumb screws, pull the printer out, you know, unplug power, plug the new printer, or drop the new printer in, put the thumb screws in, and just go. You know, so that'd be kind of cool. Or, you know, just take it so that like when I go places, if I had a positron to put in there, I've got the King Rune. Maybe if I get my hands on another A1 Mini, down the road, we can modify an A1 Mini to work with it as well. It's just a matter of put a barrel jack in there and have some Shocky diodes set up so that it's not back feeding into the power supply in the printer. Yeah. So we could definitely do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. And just like I said, just make interchangeable printers for the backpack. It's nothing more than a 2.4 frame from LDO. It's a 250 frame, but it's not 250 on the Z. It's like, well, what did we figure it was? Like 280 on the Z instead of, or no, not 280. Or was it 300? Shit, I don't remember what we said the other night when we were figuring the maths. But yeah, it's like a 250 frame. So that was nice of Jason to send that. So Jason, thank you. I know you're not watching, but go support LDO, guys. They make good shit. But yeah, we hit the 2.5 hour mark 3 minutes ago. So thank you guys. Is anybody streaming right now? I don't think anybody else is streaming right now. I would recommend somewhere to go if I knew. Let me go look. Let me open it up in a new tab and let's look at YouTube and see if anybody else is streaming right now. Kilroy. What's Kilroy doing? It says Kilroy is live, but I think Kilroy is... What's he doing? He's working on something. Oh, he's working on Star Trek. He's working on the Enterprise D build. He's got a model of the Enterprise that he's putting together. It's something that would entertain you guys. Let me drop the link in case you guys want to go over there. You don't have to. But if you guys wanted to, I'm going to be working on the honey-do list, so I won't be in chat. I'm just going to drop this link somewhere for you guys to go check out if you haven't checked it out. But he's currently building a Enterprise D. The NCC 1707, or 01, sorry, the 1701. Yes. So, thanks for coming and hanging out. You guys stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, and all that fun stuff. Stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, happy 3D printing, and all the things. Yeah. And thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. Talk to you guys all later. I'm going to go I'm probably going to procrastinate a little bit before I go do the honey-do list. So who knows where you'll find me before then. But thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. We didn't get too much done. We just kind of tidied up the wiring on there and found out that, yes, it is definitely a bad board, and that's why I wasn't using it. I should have remembered, but I forgot. But now we know. All right. And also to Mr. and Mrs. Lee Marie 3D, thank you guys for sending that board. When it gets here, I will get it. We'll get Clipper installed on it, and we'll get it in there. I'll get the Raspberry Pi back out that I got floating around here somewhere, and I'll work on printing some enclosures for the E3V3 and the Pi and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.